Imagine being able to look back at the hardest moments of your life and honestly say, that didn't break me, it built me. Not as a motivational quote, but as something deeply experienced. Nietzsche called it, "What does not destroy me makes me stronger." Today, modern psychology is proving he might have been right. We now know that adversity can actually rewire your brain for resilience. Pain, when processed the right way, isn't just something you survive, it becomes a form of psychological weightlifting. And that's what this video is all about. We live in a society that worships comfort and convenience. We avoid discomfort like it's the enemy. But Nietzsche believed that struggle was essential to becoming a stronger, more powerful version of yourself. Someone with what he called a will to power, the inner drive to overcome and grow. Modern science now calls this post-traumatic growth. Researchers have found that people who go through major adversity, loss, failure, illness, don't always come out damaged. Many come out transformed, more grateful, more focused, even more compassionate. But here's the paradox. Adversity alone doesn't make you stronger. Some people experience trauma and collapse under it. Others face the same situation and emerge tougher. The difference lies in how you interpret the experience and what you do afterward. Nietzsche said, "To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering." That meaning, that interpretation, is what turns pain into growth. Let's ground this with science. Dr. Martin Seligman, one of the founders of positive psychology, studied resilience in soldiers returning from war. He found that some soldiers came back more resilient than before. Their brains showed changes in neural pathways, neuroplasticity, that allowed them to handle stress better in the future. Instead of being destroyed by the trauma, their brains adapted to it, like a muscle that repairs stronger after being torn. That's the neuroscience of adversity. Your brain can literally rewire itself to cope with future challenges if the experience is processed consciously. And this isn't abstract theory. Think of someone who trained in a gym. You don't grow by lifting feathers every day. You grow by lifting something heavy, something that makes your muscles tear just enough to rebuild. That's discomfort. The body uses stress as a signal to build strength. The mind does the same. Stress actually releases certain chemicals like BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, that supports brain growth and learning. But only if you engage with the challenge, not run from it. Let me share a real story that illustrates this. I have a friend who went bankrupt in his early 30s, lost everything, had to move back in with family. At first, he was completely destroyed emotionally, anxious, humiliated, depressed. For months, he felt stuck. Then one day, he started reading philosophy. Nietzsche, Seneca. He told me a line from Nietzsche hit him like a punch. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. He began to view the bankruptcy, not as a curse, but as feedback. He started journaling daily about what he learned, what mistakes he made, what values he wanted to live by. Within 2 years, he launched a new project with a clearer mind. More discipline, more empathy. That adversity didn't automatically make him stronger. His response to it did. That's resilience. Here's the central message of this entire video. Adversity is not the enemy. Meaningless suffering is. Pain will visit you, but how you frame it can turn it into fuel. A broken bone, once healed, is often stronger at the fracture point. The same can be true for the mind. So what can you do to build this kind of resilience consciously? Let me give you 3 practical steps that blend Nietzsche's philosophy with modern psychology. First, cultivate what Seligman calls explanatory style. When something bad happens, notice how you explain it to yourself. Do you say, "This always happens to me. I'm doomed"? That creates helplessness. Or do you say, "This is temporary. I can learn from this"? That mindset literally builds resilience in your brain. Nietzsche would call it the will to power, refusing to be the victim of circumstances. Second, practice voluntary hardship. This is uncomfortable, but extremely effective. Nietzsche admired strength built through struggle. Modern science shows that controlled stress, like cold exposure, Intense exercise, fasting, can train your nervous system to tolerate discomfort. It's like putting your mind in a training camp. You're telling your brain, I can face difficulty and survive. This reduces anxiety and increases grit. Third, create meaning intentionally. Viktor Frankl, influenced by Nietzsche, survived the concentration camps due to one thing. He gave his suffering meaning by setting a goal to teach after the war. You can do this in small ways. When something painful happens, ask, how can this shape me? What can I gain from this experience that I couldn't gain any other way? Your brain starts searching for answers, and that rewires you toward growth. As you can see, Nietzsche wasn't promoting suffering for its own sake. He was pointing to the creative power inside struggle, the opportunity for transformation. And modern psychology, with all its data and brain scans, is now catching up to what he intuited over a century ago. The neuroscience of resilience is fascinating. Stress triggers neural adaptation. If you process that stress with reflection and action, you grow. If you avoid it or drown in despair, those same neural pathways can lead to anxiety, depression, or PTSD. It's not the event, it's the engagement. Nietzsche called life a struggle of becoming, and he believed only those willing to suffer consciously could become something greater than they were. The truth is, we all face setbacks. Maybe you failed an exam, or lost someone, or feel stuck in a job you hate. And it hurts. Nothing can fully erase that pain. But the question is, will this pain define you, or will it carve out a deeper, stronger version of you? That's resilience. That's post-traumatic growth. And it's not just poetic language. It's neuroscience and psychology confirming it. Modern researchers also talk about grit. Angela Duckworth's famous study, grit as perseverance plus passion. Nietzsche would have called that the will to power, a deeper drive that pushes you forward even when things are falling apart. So remember, resilience is not about pretending everything is okay. It's about confronting the truth, feeling the pain, and still choosing to grow through it. That's something both Nietzsche and modern science deeply agree on. Adversity doesn't automatically break you. It can refine you. It can reveal strength you didn't know you had. Resilience is not a gift you either have or don't have. It's a skill. It's built. It's trained. Nietzsche wasn't romanticizing suffering. He was showing us that hardship can either crush you or forge you, depending on how you meet it. Modern psychology now proves the same thing. Your brain is plastic, adaptable. It learns from struggle if you face it directly. Think about this. The most inspiring people in the world, the ones we admire for their strength, didn't become that way because life was easy. They became that way because at some point, life hit them hard, and they made a decision. This will not destroy me. And that decision, repeated over time, literally changed their mind, their behavior, their future. The point of this isn't to seek pain. It's to stop fearing it so much that you stop growing. You don't have to wait for a disaster to practice resilience. You can start now. Push your comfort zone, discipline your mind, and give meaning to even small difficulties. Little by little, your tolerance expands, your courage expands, and one day you face something big and realize you didn't collapse. That's the real power behind Nietzsche's famous quote. It's not a slogan, it's a transformation. What does not destroy me makes me stronger means if I face my struggles with awareness, I come back not the same, but stronger, more conscious, more alive. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control what it becomes inside of you. That is resilience, and it's something you can build, starting today.